Right. Should we have a shot?
Like,
You really poured yourself a shot. I'm going to have to down this quickly.
I mean, I think you should make it tradition, to be fair.
Well, this is actually... I meant to just pause as a normal fucking...
I need mine.
Let's do that. Bosh. Right. We'll wait for...
Straight rum as well.
Oh, man. Naughty.
You just have a bottle that you always hit.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Cheers.
I need to get... I was thinking of getting... Hang on. Whoa.
Whoa. Tickles the sides, isn't it? Crikey.
Oh, I'm not a big shot drinker, I can't lie. Whoa.
I'm not a shotter.
Welcome to the 6th episode.
Is this the 6th
I think it's the 5th one, but it's the 6th one I've recorded because I did Paul's punch up.
Yeah, what was that?
That was just like, well, I'm gonna try to do like
Paul's what? Punch up?
Paul's punch up, yeah.
Okay.
This guy Casey Hill, yeah, he gave me the name for the idea of it. And it's just like me and Tom actually were the ones that filmed it, and we were just like chatting shit, like previewing the UFC this weekend. Have you seen who's fighting tomorrow night?
No, I'm
not.
not.
I've heard there's a big fight going. I'm not into my UFC.
Nah, you into your boxing?
Not really.
Nah,
no.
Just football and music.
Pretty much.
Keep it simple, mate. Keep it
So
simple.
Magnetic, the boys.
Mm-hmm.
How did it all start? How did you all come together? Did you know each other before coming to uni or not?
Yeah, we did. We've been friends for a long time now, isn't it?
We have.
When was it? Probably.
So for me, it's probably a good start. For me, the music was him introduced it to me. So we were playing cricket together for like years before.
Was this back home? So are you both from Brighton? Yeah.
No. So I'm not even from Brighton.
Are you not?
No.
Just support so yeah.
No.
Brighton's a sick place.
Don't even add up. Yeah, Brighton.
We'll get to Brighton. We're from like I'm Croydon, he's Sutton.
South London.
Yeah.
And then we both played for Sutton Cricket Club, and we met through there. And then I remember we were friends, isn't it? We weren't like
friends, but you didn't go to school, so it's different. And like we didn't go like socialise together. We just played cricket, but like we got along. We always used to piss about.
I was like, he's alright. And then one day I was like, oh yeah, I'm going Leeds Beckett. And he's like, I'm going Leeds Uni. And I was like, oh sweet, I'll see you there then, innit?
Just like that.
And then literally in the summer of first year, he texted me because I was not into music, like electronic music at all. Before uni, like my music was very.
Let's not talk about what he was into before.
Yeah. We won't even go there. No one wants to hear that. But so we went to this first. So he texted me. He was like, "Right, buy tickets. This Memphis that's coming up."
Sorry, boys.
We'll just go from where we was.
Yeah, go back from where we were.
Go from where we were.
Recording now.
Yeah, everything's back on now. Don't worry. My bad. Okay, you got a message from Memphis.
He texted me, and like I'm basically like I had no idea what was going on. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. It's end of freshers. So this is like Saturday. We have a big freshers before, and then we get together for this Memphis, and it's like this is my first musical experience of like this kind, and it's like the environment was unbelievable. We get there, and I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, I went to like Reading Festival for like when I was in like lower sixth school, but that was it. So then I came here, and then there was an outdoor stage. It was System had an outdoor stage. I don't even know where the venue was now.
I think it might have been 2017. I think that might have been in town where. What's it called?
No, it wasn't in town.
Was it not in town?
I think that was the year before. I think that
was the year before. Yeah.
I think that was the year before. It's
changed
so
many times.
The old Mintfest lineups. Oh my god, they're like 2 days of like ridiculous. Now the lineups seem just good enough. But so so System had an outdoor stage. And I think Priku was on about 11 o'clock, wasn't it? It was like Priku for a few hours, then the Fuse Boys are playing, Villalobos was there, Local Dice was there. And so I was like, we got there, listened to his music, it was beautiful sun, this outdoor stage was nice. And we got to speak to these art students. I always remember this, mate.
It was like the start of just like
start of the uni experience.
I actually remember, you might not even want me to say this, but I remember one point he went to me and was like, mate, I don't know how to dance this music. And I was like, bro, look around you. I was like, no one gives a fuck how you dance this music, just enjoy yourself, and you know what I mean?
But that's coming from like somewhere where like you haven't listened to like any electronic music, to like coming into like a Romanian like
it's
environment.
Completely different.
I was just like, what the fuck? And like the whole like day was just like a bit crazy, to be fair. And I remember actually finishing and being knackered. This was like 11 o'clock. I was sitting on the bus.
To get
on the bus. And all these lads like all going back to the office. I was like, I'm tired for bed. I'm in shit.
No, we thought about it. We nearly went there, but then we were like, nah.
When it's just two of you.
Mate, it's heavy. Oh, so it was just you two all night?
No, we were with other people, but we managed to lose them.
Yeah.
Just like we lost the beat.
Mate, it's so easy to be done. So easy
So we managed to lose them. And then we lose on a festival, like trying to find them again. It's like a mission. There's, in it, you know what I mean? No phone reception, you know what I mean? You just like maybe pop up in the crowd, but it's hard work.
Yeah, it was.
But it was sick. I managed to miss football trials the next day for Beckett. I just fucked him off.
I'm not surprised. I would have done the same. It's mad that like, my first experience of like in Malta, obviously now it's picking up, the rave scene's kind of picking up, and it's like more like the tech house sort of side of things. But I came here like never really going to any sort of raves, and I before I'd even gone to that one actually, my first experience of like any sort of like rave nightclub culture was going to Min Club, and it was for baseline. Funnily enough, I forget who it was. It was like a proper old school. I want to say maybe like Mr. Virgo. Maybe one of those like old school bassline DJ names.
Mint Club.
Mint Club though.
How many times did you go to Mint Club then?
I went to Mint Club a fair few times after that. And then like when I actually turned into like, I went to a few of the system events there. I went to a couple of closing parties. I tell you what, the best night I've been to at Mint Club was. It was one of the closing parties. I think it was one of the closing parties anyway. It was Green Velvet back to back eats everything all night long.
Didn't that go on for fucking...
Mate, this is what I mean. So they were at EE Festival. They did a 4-hour back to back set. Came up to Leeds. They got there at 2 o'clock. Started playing at 2 o'clock. And they literally, the music kept on going until 10 a.m.
I've seen the video.
I called it.
It was like...
I was laughing.
It was like...
I've got the guy who like runs Mint. He put a picture on Facebook and it was like Green Velvet is not wanting to leave. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like 9 a.m. and he's like refusing to get out of the club, and the bouncers there like, can you please fuck up?
It's crazy, mate. I was the last one standing out of all my friends. Tom, you were there as well. Yeah, Tom was there. He had to be put in taxi home.
But those Mint closings were savage. We went to the actual like Mint, like the finishing one.
Was it Villa Boas?
Yeah.
I can never pronounce his name right.
It was like the Saturday. I think it was Apollonia and. I think Truxler. I think we left when Truxler came on, but we did like a little bit of the Saturday, came back and then went back for the Sunday. And the Sunday was crazy because they opened up the smoking area out the back. And it was like they had like a corridor of a stage. So like you had to get to the front, but then once you got there, you couldn't move. And it was a Fuse Boys. I think it was Rich and Sebsy or Roscoe. They played for like 7.5 hours. And like no one had ever like this wasn't ever a stage. It was just for the club.
I don't know if they've ever used that as a stage before.
I've never seen it used as a stage. It's a small area in itself.
It's tiny. I've never been such a crowd.
There's like Tinny in the crowd.
Did you ever find what actually happened to Min Club? Did it? Because like, there were so many rumours that went around. I think like the rumour that I heard was that it was being turned into like a green room. Some shit like that.
I think basically what I heard was the lease finished on like Mint's owning of it, and then when they went to renew it, the like local council just said it's for. They need to redevelop the area and put some housing there. Like, my God, like we only got a couple years of it, but it was for me it was probably one of the best clubs.
Mate, that is for me the best club.
It's the best club I've ever been to. If someone asked me what's the best club I've been to, I think I might say like somewhere abroad. No, straight up Mint Club, best club I've ever been to.
Mate, and I think it's got such a big culture. Like when people think of Leeds, I'm pretty sure like obviously like I said, we've only been around for a couple of years, but like all the old timers like Mint Club, like, it's got a high name in the industry.
Yeah, you realise it when it closes because people the reaction is like some of the old timers who have been going for like 20 years. They're like this is their life. And like closing that down.
Mate, people were crying at it.
The end was mad.
And I guess if you're doing it for like, if for 10 years you've been going day in day out, then it would be pretty.
I can imagine definitely. But it's so mad. Like it's funny you say that because like Mint was literally where my like whole sort of Leeds experience kind of started, and forever it's always going to hold a place in my heart because like Mint Club, like I said. There's never any like even Mint Warehouse now they've got the lights on top like it's still sick, but It's never going to be the same as Mint Club.
100%.
No,
Like,
it
it
won't.
can't ever.
Although I'm happy they're like going that way.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that. Did you
definitely.
go to the opening party back there?
I didn't go to the opening party, but the last night out I ever had before all the fucking Corona shit happened.
Did you manage to get there?
Yeah, it was meant. Well, I think it was meant to be Green Velvet again. Funny enough, but then he cancelled because I think he was in America and everything was like popping off. So it ended up being hot since '82. And all my boys, they were in the room upstairs, and they had. I think it was. I want to say it was either Dimension or Burton, but it was like all my boys like were all playing upstairs. So it was like an unbelievable night. All my mates were there. Mate. It makes such a difference when like all your group of mates there, and everyone's on, especially as well the fact that everyone knew, because I think the night it happened, it was announced that was like the last weekend before it was shut down.
I think it was.
So everyone was just like on a mad one.
I think they managed to sneak on in before it all closed.
Can't blame them though. Imagine how much money they've missed out on.
Yeah, but what they've done there is sick. Like, I'm excited to get back in that place. Like, one night was only like a little taster.
Mate, that place, I tell you what, I think it was the first people over the Ghost, and they just started.
Do you
on
want
one.
to just run it by the way, or what?
I'm just going for a beer, you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mate, have you got a bottle opener?
I'll just use a lighter.
You getting a drink?
I'm sweet for my
Yeah,
I'm good, thank you. You can still do that. Pop it. Pop it,
I
bro.
can't do that.
Just fucking pop it, brother.
Shout out to Cam Forbes who.
Where is he? I reckon he definitely would have had a little cry if he didn't get a shout out.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? He would have been belling up. He probably would have told you. He's like, give me a fucking shout out.
Definitely. That's number one.
So, so you obviously you fell in love with the Romanian side of techno when you went to Mintfest.
Yeah.
And then how did you go from the transition? Like, were you DJing before at all, like any of you, or was it something that you literally just picked up and you came to Leeds?
I got into it. I mean, I bought a set of decks when I was in sixth form, I think, and it kind of started for me. I spent loads of money on them. They were ridiculous. I spent like $1,000 on them when I was like 17. But it was so sick. Me and my mate like went halves on them, so it was alright. But
then you nicked them, bruv.
Shut up. Let's not go there. But yeah, so I remember just skiving lessons, like, because it was sixth form, you can kind of like dip in, dip out. I remember just skiving lessons, going home, just put beats on, mixing. So I do a sick little setup. So I was getting into it there. Had a few gigs through like my brother's mates. So my brother's got me into it. Do you know what I mean? Like he loved.
Is he older than you?
Yeah. My brother's 29.
Crazy, one of the craziest gigs.
29. So he got me into it. So yeah, sick from there. And then I got a few gigs through my brother's mates, which was sick. Because they're proper into the scene, like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then from there, just kind of worked my way up, got a few more, and then came uni, and then it was going alright. And then as soon as Magnetic started, it was just more of a, do you know what I mean?
Straight on.
Yeah.
Flip a switch.
It was like Owen, Magnetic, and kind of go things from there. So
had you started Magnetic by yourself, or was it a joint effort, or?
Yeah, I mean the way Magnetic started was pretty jokes fair. I was on a bit of a bender, to be fair.
Yeah.
I was out. I was having a few drinks at a few bars with my housemates, and then I was in District.
Mate, I love District, you know.
Yeah.
Like District before everything, like me and my mate Chris were literally in District every week. That's why I was saying that I've seen loads of your stickers. I've seen loads of Magnetic stickers in District, mate. As a place though, District is
it's good.
What a
It's
fucking
good.
They probably plastered. Yeah, District isn't it sick?
Oh.
You know, had so many good times in District. Do you know what I mean?
So he literally calls me, going back to the Magnetic that's
Yeah.
starting. So I remember he was out and stuff the night before, and he calls me. I'm at the library, and he's like, "Yeah, so I was in District last night. Ended up getting pissed. Like speaking to the owner." And then she was like, "Yeah, we got a night in 2 weeks."
Yeah, because I was there on a Wednesday. I looked around and there was literally one person in there. And this is a club that I started around. This place is sick. Like I've been coming here Friday, Saturdays now, and I was like, this is the bollocks. And I was like, I was coming in on a Wednesday, and I was like, there's no one here. There was like one guy and his dog like having a beer, and I was like, I know bare students that want to party. Do you know what I mean?
Literally.
And I was like,
students party any day of the week.
like she was like. Fair play to Rosita, shout out Rosita, who started Magnetic basically. She was like, go on then, I'll give you a night, but I'll give you 2 weeks. I was like,
So we were like,
I was like,
and
what?
to be fair to us, we've been discussing like wanting to get a night.
Yeah,
for,
we had
like,
talked
a while.
about it. We talked about it.
But I remember that phone call. I still remember it. It's like, fuck, we're actually doing something in 2 weeks.
Did you get nervous?
You had to get a move on.
Yeah, 100%.
And I still get
because I don't
nervous,
come from like events background, you know what I mean? So like I don't really know that when I didn't know that much about it. So I was like 2 weeks to start an event. I was like, I nearly bottled it, to be fair. I remember because she was like, she messaged me the next day. She's like, so do you want it then? I was like, I was like, fucking yeah, go on then. I thought about it, I was like, I could delay it and do it later. I was like, you know what, some things are meant to happen. Do you know what I mean? We've been talking about this, something meant to happen, and the opportunity arose, and I was like, do you know what, fuck it, I'm going to take it. 2 weeks, just get the artwork done ASAP and just get it out there and just see how it goes. Do you know what I mean? It was
sometimes you got to bite the bullet.
Yeah, just bite the bullet.
And that's what I mean.
Because it's not ideal. I would like a couple months to prepare. Obviously. But I was like...
But fair play to you, because I kind of was speaking about on my last podcast, like sometimes you just got to fucking just try it, mate. Like you can't be afraid of failing, because if you're afraid of failing, then you're just gonna always.
That was it. I remember sitting there thinking that I was like, if I don't take this now, this opportunity might never come again. And do you know what I mean?
So how far into your uni life in Leeds was this?
So this was
November of second year.
Yeah, I'm gonna say November of second year.
Oh, so it's only just over a year.
Yeah. Mate, so I'd literally been listening to the music. So the first year, so what halls you in?
Kirkstall Brewery was my whole show.
My housemates downstairs were from Kirkstall.
Big up Kirkstall. Sick.
No, I literally didn't like. We went out like maybe once a month to like the Mint clubs, and it was like me and him. That would be like, that's it. And then we do the event, and then we wouldn't have an afters. It would just be finished. And first year was, looking back on it, it was like the transition from first year to where we are now it's crazy. It's crazy. But I suppose that was like a development, because in second year we started getting into like doing like parties at like his house, which was like a good venue.
I was gonna say, were you having like hall parties and stuff?
Yeah. To be honest with you, in first year it was not the after parties were mad, but in second year when we got houses, it's different.
I think it's different halls. Halls you can't really get away with that. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's, I've never been in halls personally, so I only went to like a few hall parties, but I've heard Kirkstall though, from what I've heard, is like pretty loose compared to like the others.
I mean, I heard it's loose, but I've heard Mars and
Mars is crazy.
That's what I was wondering. What was your first podcast? So James was talking about there'll be a security guard outside, but they just rock on till 10 a.m. That would not happen anywhere else.
No. Where were you at halls?
So I was Central Village, which was perfect because it was town. So Central Village is, Dry Dock. It's
yeah. Next to like the big, next to church.
Yes, bit down from church.
R.I.P. Church, by the way, that was another fucking great venue.
We were talking about this the other day. Apparently they're churning into like university
libraries.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Does that make you?
It makes honestly like I feel like, sorry to like go off topic, but I feel like they're trying to change like the culture from like I feel like the Leeds City Council are trying to like take the name away from.
To be fair, there's two things there that they've kind of just like.
Mate, I remember once. Not my last house, the house before, we had a fucking mad house party. And we literally didn't have any trouble with police all night. But then obviously the next day we had like, I think the next couple of days we must have received like a warning notice of some subject. And we rang the local council and we're like, why are we getting this when we literally had like no police come and like stop us, like this come out of nowhere, just trying to blag it basically.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh well, obviously Headingley isn't a student area, so you're not really meant to be doing these things. Like, how are you saying Headingley's not a student area when there's a massive campus in the middle of it?
No one else is Headingley but students.
Literally, you know I always say like, obviously I can understand that people sometimes like money means that they can't be picking and choosing where they want to live, but at the same time, Headingley and Hyde Park is like known to be student areas. Like if you
don't like Hyde Park, do you? I've been doing my research just for the.
You know what?
I'm prepared, bro.
Do you know?
He's been slagging off Hyde Park.
He's been watching me all day.
I wouldn't fucking live there.
You don't like Hyde Park? No.
Do you know what? I like Hyde Park for the parties, bro. But I don't know. Maybe it's because like,
you can view it from afar. I've got it out.
Maybe because like I moved to Headingley straight away and like I just got really comfortable with Headingley, but I don't know. Hyde Park just does seem a bit like grotty. Do you know what I mean?
We're living in
Hyde Park is.
Headingley's grotty as well. But that's kind of what makes it so.
Yeah, Hyde Park is buzz. That's what people love. I kind of love that about Hyde Park.
I feel like the Hyde Park crowd of people is just so mad though. Like there's so many different types of people, and I think that's what makes it so special. Because like you go to Hyde Park like on a sunny day, like the amount of different types of groups of people you see is mad.
Sure.
It's tight as well. The thing with Leeds, which I've realised since coming up, like it's so tight. You will not leave like a mile radius within. If you did a term here, if you lived in Hyde Park and only went into the city centre, you would not leave the space of like the city centre, Hyde Park. That's it. That's all you do. Yeah. And like so, it gets you into like this like tunnel vision, which then
Yeah, that's what I love about Leeds.
It's
everyone's,
great.
Everyone's so close.
and it's intense.
What made you choose? Obviously, what made either of you choose to move to Leeds? Was it just like a fluke? You just because you know what? Including me, I literally it was a complete fluke that I came to Leeds. I feel like there's a lot of people that just like, I'll just fucking go to Leeds without really thinking about it.
Well, for me, it was miles away from home. I kind of was done. Like sixth form for me wasn't great. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really enjoy sixth form, so I was like, right, I've got my grades. I worked hard, so I'm gonna go as far away as I possibly can, and just have it off. And I spoke to my brother a bit, and I heard him say, like a lot of his friends from Leeds, and I've heard things about Leeds before I came. And I was like, apparently it's
a kind of preconceived.
Apparently it's a place to be. And then, to be honest, Leeds Beckett 6th for sports science was what I did as well. So I was like, you know what, it's perfect. Went up for an open day, and my mum was like, I was like, this is where I want to go. Do you know what I mean? And I actually had nowhere else I wanted to go. Like some people like came to Leeds by chance, kind of thing. And I was like, I want to like from like the middle of second year, I was like, I want to go to Leeds Beckett. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So it was like pretty.
Second year, sixth form. Second year, sixth form was it? Yeah.
Oh, so pretty early then.
So I was like, I want to go to Leeds Beckett. So I was like, yeah.
Were you looking at any other universities at all? Like.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at Liverpool, John Moores, I think, and then Sheffield, Hallam. But I just wasn't that arsed. I didn't go.
Imagine you.
I didn't go to any other open days. So
nah,
I can't just have my.
It's mad, like you just get a feeling, like sometimes you just get a feeling, like, God, you know what, like it's actually the place.
And it's motivating. Like I was like, I really want to. Like when I came, I was like, I really want to go here. So I'll knuckle down, get the grades. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll go there. So you know what I mean. So.
What about you?
I was like, I wanted to go to Nottingham for like that. I remember going around Nottingham with like a lovely day and thinking, the campus at Nottingham's quite nice.
Yeah.
I have to say.
But
that's it. So this is what I've got a problem with actually. Like you go, your school, the way they promote university is completely like different to the way I think the way they should. Like, although the course is important, like. You need to consider other things
for sure.
the course,
it's not just the course.
But me being naive at whatever age, 17, looking for a uni, I remember just thinking, oh my God, that's the only thing I'm looking at. So I thought Nottingham, I want to go there, but I might not get the grade. So I was like, Leeds, fuck it, let's do that.
Yeah.
And then it just turned out like I just couldn't imagine.
Yeah, definitely. There's more to it than that. Like I also at the back of my mind, I was like, there's a good music scene in Leeds. Do you know what I mean? There's the music.
So you were thinking about music, even like, but kind of.
Yeah, for sure. I was like the DJs that I was like looking up to. They were like playing in Leeds a lot, and I was like, there's a good scene, and obviously I had seen Mintfest and stuff, Cocoon in the Park.
I've still never been to Cocoon in the Park,
so I was like,
but I'm hoping. I didn't get a ticket, but I'm hoping that.
Yeah, Cocoon in the Park. Cocoon in the Park was sick. Yeah, I went. What, 2 years ago now? 2.5 years ago now? So Cocoon in the Park's proper
Sven
good day.
I've never even seen Sven live either.
He's
apparently like proper good set.
I managed to wiggle my way backstage on my first time. I was just like, fuck. I didn't know the right wristband, you know what I mean? But I saw where everyone was going backstage, and I was just like, I don't know, one of the sets wasn't that good, so I was a little bit bored. I was just dotting about, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to just try and wiggle my way back there. Ended up going to the backstage, chatting to some people, and then some security came up to me, he was like, let me see your band. And I was just like, and he was like, right, you could fucking get out.
Mate, honestly, like, I'm literally the same. You actually, like, you mumbling my words here, but you'll be surprised how lucky you can actually get, like, if it's not even that hard.
Easy.
Like I wiggle my way into some
good
places.
chat, Paul.
Yeah, you got to have.
If you don't try, you don't get.
Exactly, mate. That's literally it.
I was like, why not? If fucking someone tells me to go their way, that doesn't matter.
So, Harry, were you DJing at all before coming to uni, or
no,
nothing at all?
So I've literally, I've just learned in the last like few months I've been up here.
That's crazy.
So I just don't like. I didn't really get involved in that side of things. I suppose. We had.
Just always on dance floor, front left, just like
literally being that guy. So there's. I got to understand at the start. I was a bit like I used to be the guy on the dance floor, and we had like you, Tom, Flukes played, and then Sammy.
Shout out Tom.
Shout out Tom. Shout out Sammy Dog.
Shout out Sammy.
So they were playing, and the music was so good. I was like, I didn't even feel that I needed to like learn to like mix at that point. And actually my presence on the dance floor was important because like every single person I don't know, I'm gonna go and see them, say hello, thanks for coming, type of thing, just get good energy. Because for me, like, because I've never been on that side of things, like now it's good that I can mix. But if you're on the dance floor and you're creating the environment, it's I feel that is so important. As a guy who's never gone like and been a DJ, I've only been looking at it from the dance floor,
for sure.
and so therefore, like, what do I want out of an event? And it's like,
experience.
I want good energy from people. Like, there's nothing like being surrounded by people you might not know a lot, but like if they're having it, mate, the difference is unbelievable. So if you can like get that enthusiasm within people when they come to your event, it's an important thing. And the whole environment design of an event is like, it goes with like it isn't talked about as much, but if you look at events like Animal Crossing, which I went to I've only been to one of them, but I went to the.
It's a pretty unique idea with that.
It's a very unique idea, but like I don't. So we did what did we do? Arapu Gescu. They had a theatre venue. The event, like, I'm going to say that event was probably one of the best events I've been to.
In England,
like full stop.
In England.
In England.
Well, to be fair, full stop. Yeah.
Because of the design of it, it felt like it was a Romanian dance floor because they had this ridiculously big like theatre dance floor. The music was outstanding. But like then we go back to afters. And it's the Animal DJ, the Animal Crossing DJs, and I just was not impressed.
There was a bit of a madness as well. Someone
there was some weird
shit. Got a knife out.
Really?
It was weird. But like the afters itself, but the way they design the event, so from the nerd point of view, like, and that's what I look at it from, because I'm like the nerd of the fucking magnetic stuff. Like, you've got the way they.
As you can't tell.
So the nerdy like environment design point of view is so important, and that's something I'd like to develop, because we were looking at. For one of the parties we had cancelled, we wanted to do an after party at Eiger, and there's a bit more. I mean, with District, it's very much like they book the artists. Like
District's got his own kind of like setting.
Yeah, exactly, and they do it like they book it for us. Like, we can't really complain about anything because like it's helped us get off the floor. For sure. But so I suppose our after party is something where we can be a bit different, and like we wanted to bring some plants at the front, some hanging baskets, and it's like a more.
It creates your own image as well.
It's a more of a European feel.
Try and be a bit unique with it. You know?
Have you ever thought of like doing an event in Romania?
Oh mate, to be honest with you, the only we'd love to take it abroad. And I suppose the link could potentially be Switzerland if we went out there. But
I mean, long term, that's what I would love to do.
Abroad,
Romania, Switzerland, somewhere like that.
Yeah. So is it you're off to Switzerland, aren't you, Harry?
I've been.
Oh, you've been already, yeah.
Yeah. So between September and
he's half Swiss. So.
I'm basically between September and December, I was working in Switzerland. So
what were you doing?
So it's like a company called Glencore, so they're commodity traders, and I was working in the nickel department, and so there's a lot that goes on within nickel, but so they have mines.
I still don't understand what he does.
Yeah, it's a bit of a complex thing. Anyway, they have mines, multiple mines for nickel. And they've got different departments, obviously. So they've got nickel mines, which they mine the material, and then they're at the mine, they'll go through a process, and then they'll get it out at like 99 point whatever nickel, and then they'll sell to people like Tesla. They'll sell to people So my cousin, who is the head of nickel there, that's how I get the job. He was on a phone with Tesla to discuss, because they need their supply chain isn't all the way to the bottom, Tesla. So they don't have mines, and therefore they need to guarantee however X amount of nickel over a 3-year period, and just being around like the department when that all was going on is like.
I can imagine it's an experience in itself.
It's mad, and Switzerland is a great country. Like, the work was good. I was living on my own in a foreign country, and then I was 20 minutes from Zurich, mate.
Oh wow!
And Zurich's party scene. I was clubbing in November out there, like. The scene out there is great, and the way they handle Corona as well. It's like I think they only went into lockdown after I left, which would have been about the 20th of December.
Isn't it so? Sorry to interrupt. Isn't it so mad that like so many different countries have handled it in so many
different ways? You know what I mean? Would you say that was that the right thing to do though? Like lock it down so late? I don't know, because there were people were still clubbing late on.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I think it did get to a point at the end where they were a bit. A lot of the for example, in the office, everyone was like, "Shouldn't be going out clubbing on Saturday. I'm off on Saturday." but generally, it's like. The way they handle it is they try and set whatever they say they're going to set. They'll just keep with it.
Yeah,
it's not like a Boris.
They won't go back on
it. You go from right. Everyone can have fun in the summer to now we're going into lockdown. To you can go and have a bit at Christmas. It's back into lockdown. And
that's just the English way. That's just the English way.
That is the English way. As soon as you get something, you go.
Yeah.
So how do you think the way that the government and how do you think the way the government has handled things has like affected the way you've been trying to like think of things for Magnetic going forward, or even just personally as well? Like, what do you think of the way the situation's been dealt with?
I mean, first of all, I think the government handled it terribly.
Yeah,
put that out there. I think they've handled it terribly.
I think I've been pretty outspoken the fact that I don't think the government have done a good job.
It's hard though. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's definitely difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely hard, and obviously it's unprecedented. Never happened before, but they have handled it terribly. Like, I think for people that are at the top, do you know,
you know what I mean? My problem comes into it when you've got like all these billion-dollar contracts being handed out to people's friends that are in government.
Do you know
they didn't want to extend school meals over the holidays, and they only got caught out because Rashford was trying to promote.
Do you know what I mean?
It's embarrassing when it comes to that.
Yeah, no.
Well, there's a lot we can talk about.
There is a lot. But we'll go back to the music. So obviously you said you did sports science at university.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing at university?
I did economics.
Economics.
Yeah.
So going forward, even though you've both been in different areas, is that something that you're looking to go into as your future, or are you looking at just thinking about Magnetic for the time being?
Well, right now, sports science. I can't see myself going into that anytime soon. You know what I mean? It's not. So, yeah, I mean, when you're 18 and you decide whether to go to uni, it's different. You're like, oh yeah, I could get into this, I love this, do you know what I mean? But then you grow up and things change, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So in the near future, no, I can't see myself doing anything to do sports science, but who knows, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to go travelling. I want to go travelling to start off with. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for all this to blow over.
I'd love to go travelling.
And I want to go and see the world. And you know what I mean? So many places I've got on my list I want to go.
Where's your top 3 places that you want to be going?
I've got my heart set on Vietnam, to be fair.
Any particular reason?
Ace it, bitch. I swear only when we watch it back I'll be laughing at myself.
Yeah, not really. I mean, first of all, it's a sick place. So
yeah, it's unbelievable.
And it's just like a whole culture that I want to explore. Do you know what I mean? My brother has lived out there as well. He lived in Vietnam and India for a bit. And the stories he says, and you know what I mean, just like, how can you not want to go out there? Do you know what I mean?
Your brother, from what it sounds like, your brother's a pretty big influence.
Yeah, he definitely is, for sure. I'm the youngest of 3, do you know what I mean? So, I got an older brother and an older sister. But yeah, me and my brother, we get on, like, do you know what I mean? We so well, and I look up to him, and do you know what I mean? He's guided me through life, do you know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, he went travelling, and like his experiences, like, do you know what I mean? I just want to go and do it all. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, in my own way, of course. But I want to go see the world. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's like I think it's so sad that people like that. It's just not something that people like. Obviously, each to your own, obviously. But I think it's so sad that people don't want to go and explore the world.
Mate, you've got to. It's an education in like, and it's coming back here. So once you go away and you come back, you do like it's like a shift in your mind because it's all the way you perceive the world, the whole perception thing. Once that gets expanded by travelling, it's all very different someday.
Yeah, I think travelling is something that education can't. Do you know what I mean?
You can't read.
You
can't read books on it, or
it's literally something that you can only see with your own eyes, and it just makes you think, fuck me, like we are actually so lucky. So lucky. God. And people don't even realise it, like I said, because of the perception that we're all in it. We're all here. No one leaves. So you just think, oh, this is just what normal life is. But
we I don't think, no matter how much you think we're grateful for things, like we can't even begin to imagine how grateful we actually should be.
Even in simplistic terms of being alive in this time. compared to like people 100 years ago.
Sitting here, it being quiet, like the safety. You're going to go to bed tonight. You're going to eat. You can turn the thing on, like all that shit. Like, and it's so much more, like more than you can even think. So, and that's a little overwhelming. But you've got to try and just keep good gratitude, and then just do what you can do.
Take it step by step.
Absolutely.
There's definitely something I try and improve on. There's say things you're grateful for. I never used to do it, but.
I think it's also a part of just like growing up, and like it's funny, like when you're younger you don't even realise it, but the older you get, the more you kind of realise, like,
100%. And I'll tell you what, something he got me into, which like started a big like journey for me, is this thing called Miracle Morning, which is 6 things you do before you start your day. So like the book's like 6 things you do before 8 o'clock. But so it looks at meditation, affirmations, reading, writing, exercise, and
is the first one silence? Is it just like being?
Yeah, it's silence or meditation. And then affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, writing. So it's these things that. Something I actually got into. If you want a funny story,
go on. I like a funny story.
We'll go into being arrested.
Did you get arrested?
Yeah, so I was.
Wait, he's a convict, mate.
Yeah, so I was. So we went. This was second year, so I was at a skiing holiday for a week in second year, but uni ski trips are fantastic.
Was it like the Leeds, you were at uni, but is it kind of like the Leeds Beckett's?
I'm sure, mate. All uni ski trips, I've heard the same thing. But yeah, we did that for a week, got back Friday night from that, and then my old man woke up Saturday and was like Saturday at like 8 o'clock, we're going out now. So I think we're in the pub like Saturday 9 p.m, like 9 a.m. There's a pub. It's brilliant. What's it called? It's London Bridge. It's just outside. I can't remember. But it opens early doors on the Saturday.
Everyone's there.
The footy's on. Yeah, everyone's there. Then we have like a kick-off late on Saturday night, and I am just like really bad by that point. I can't really remember stuff. And we go into the ground, we got City in the FA Cup semi-final, so this is the reason why we're pushing so much, because it's like we've never been in.
You're a Brighton fan, by the way.
Yeah, I'm a Brighton fan, and it was the first time I was at Wembley, and this is a big deal, because I'd been offered Wembley tickets before, but I was like, no, I want to go with Brighton, because I thought it would be maybe in the playoffs, when we were in the Championship, but it weren't. So it was this FA Cup semi-final, way over the top. So at half-time, my old man goes, we all go for a drink, and then we come back in, he brings a couple of the drinks he has with him, and we're in a group of like 30 or 40, so I'm not actually standing next to him, so I see him like get escorted out, or like a steward calls him, he goes to the end of the row and then he's getting escorted out, and I'm like, oh, what's going on, obviously pissed up, so I walk to the end of the line, and there's like a bit of a kerfuffle with a steward. I don't exactly know what goes on, but it ends up with me getting taken to the concourse with my old man.
Twatted a steward, isn't it?
Well, I think basically I get taken to the concourse, like put on my like body, and then handcuffed, get chucked in the back of a police van, have to spend 16 hours in a cell after like mug shots, DNA. I wake up in a cell at like 5 a.m. I'm pretty hungover. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I remember coming in the night before as well, being like joking around with the guys, with like the police officers who were trying to like do my mug shots and DNA, thinking like this isn't a thing. Wake up and I'm like, oh god, like what's going on here? So yeah, you get like a lawyer come in and speak to you, and then it's like, and then I leave, and they're like, they charge me with assault, and I'm like, oh, I don't remember this, but it's bad, and I get a court date for September, and this is April time, and my parents had to pick me up, and I'm thinking, this is the end of the world. I don't remember what's gone on, and like, I'm just thinking, I'm thinking I've done it. Like I think I've done whatever they've accused me of, because I don't have a clue what's going on.
You did do it, right?
Well, there might have been a few Chinese twists, but no, I don't physically remember doing anything. And they accused me of twisting the steward's arm at the end of the conference.
Crazy that I can even get you arrested for assault.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Basically, what we think happened is my old man got taken out, and then I came down, had a little word, but and then they arrested me, and then they were like, "Oh, what has he actually done here?" And then they just put assault on me.
Wow.
So that then went through like a 5-month process, and bringing it back to why I got into all this stuff. It was like, I was like gonna have a criminal record, so like you got to live. So how do you like better yourself to do that? And it was like a massive like shift of mindset in terms of like, okay, you get a criminal record, so you're gonna have to live. You're gonna have to like just live in society. You can't just be like with a record. Like it will be a problem, but you might not be able to get some jobs, but you're gonna have to do something. So I was like, okay, I've got this. Let's like get on with it. So he introduced me to this book, and then I started like getting involved with the different things and since I went to trial and it got thrown out. So it's been bonus
for sure.
And then it's just been like a momentum from that.
Have you still continued to do these things as well?
Massively. I find meditation and the two I've always been like a guy who's exercise with sport, but like meditation and writing a diary have been the most.
Is it therapeutic?
Yeah, hugely. And like writing, especially before bed, I remember listening to Matthew McConaughey on Joe Rogan, him talking about how
he's written since he was young, right?
Yeah. So I think he got famous quite early. But he's been like religiously writing before bed all that's gone on throughout the day and what he wants to do tomorrow, like every night. And in times where he's been doing well and times where he's been doing bad, and it's really helped him to just like unpack everything that's going on.
For sure.
And meditation goes in hand with that. So that was very, very interesting listening to McConaughey, because I think he got famous off like one movie really quickly. I think he describes it went from like him walking down the street and one person knowing him to like him walking down the street and like 99 out of 100 people knowing him.
It's crazy how quickly it just shifts.
And he had to go to a monastery to like just work out like who, because it got to a point where I think everyone wants to be your mate, and so you need to work out like what's like.
That's the Hollywood scene, I guess. In it, do you know what I mean? One film or whatever, and everyone knows you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do you do for meditation? Because it's something that I've always actually wanted to like kind of get into. Like,
I'll do it. I thought you'd be a man who'd do it.
Do you know what? I actually would. Like, I find yoga pretty like nice and therapeutic. Just a breathing exercise and just the stretches. Like, if you just like control it all and just take it in and actually just do it properly, then you actually do get a benefit out of it for sure.
For sure. I mean, for my meditation personally, there's a few different things you can do. There's many different meditations.
I started off using the apps. Do you know what I mean? I started off using
the apps are a good way.
I started using Headspace and going Calm's on them. I started using the apps.
Is Calm the one that got like the bedtime story kind of thing? I think Matthew McConaughey actually has.
He's
got the voice.
You're allowed to listen to it.
Do you know what it is? Sometimes like if I'm struggling to sleep, I'll just literally put on like a YouTube 10-hour, listen to like thunderstorms and rains, put me to sleep as well, relaxing.
It's nice.
It actually is nice.
Yeah, that's like Sammy listens to the tribal shit. You know, when you go to bed.
So where do you want to see yourself if you're looking back at this podcast in like a year, 2 years? Say 2 years. Where are you looking to get Magnetic to?
It's a very good question.
Obviously 2 years is very far away as well. So have you got any long-term goals?
Short term we've got a vinyl release coming out, which is why I want to become a record label. We will become a record label. Do you know what I mean? That's what we want to do. And hopefully in 2 years we'll have, I don't know how many, 4 or 5 vinyls.
When's the vinyl coming out?
Also a good question. I don't know. Maybe like hopefully sometime in summer. I'm gonna say.
Is it one of those where you got time it in time?
Yeah,
the right time.
Not even.
It's our first time doing it. But it's a long process. Do you know what I mean? You've got to do artwork. We've got the tracks to be fair, but there's distribution. We're going with distributor in Germany. So it takes a long time for everything to come together, but it will be wicked when it comes out. So hopefully, we'll be a record label. You know what I mean?
That's a big thing.
And then we'll have some parties. Hopefully, have some parties under my belt. I don't know, 2 years. Hopefully, some abroad. I want to say. Do you know what I mean?
We'd love to have some abroad. I think the parties for us at the moment are a bit. It's a bit in between. We've got a few district parties that we need to reschedule. But because of all that's gone on, we focus more.
We was the first party. We was the first party to be like stopped because of Corona. Do you know what I mean? We was the Pritch and Drag Tesco was on the 24th of
Do you think,
March,
like, because obviously I think things are opening up, but slowly, and like obviously it's not going to be full capacity. Do you think that, obviously it kind of might be an obvious answer, but do you think that it being cut down to capacity has just changed the aura of the whole scene and changed the aura of just an event in itself in terms of people going to it and then just not being the same feel? Because when you go to an event and there's just that many people, like it's such a buzz, such an energy, and like with that being taken away, kind of like it does kind of change it up a little bit.
Yeah, well, personally, I was never that asked about the whole like sit down ones.
Yeah, no, I actually never went to any of them.
I mean, I went to a few of them and I was like, they're alright, but like I never wanted to throw one like that. I don't think I'd come away from a sit down one and be like, oh, that was fucking sick.
Doesn't
inspire
you.
No. It doesn't inspire you. I was kind of like, I mean, to be fair, people did do some good ones because in the end, you kind of just had to. I feel like people just played the game. Do you know what I mean? They kind of just did one. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. They don't really do it for me. Do you know what I mean? This is not the same. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I kind of feel like just be patient. Like the ones where you got a full, you gridlock one in the dance floor.
Yeah.
They'll come back. So I was kind of
hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, do you think it's going to be easy as June 21st? I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think it'll be easy.
But I'm hoping come August we good. Like I'm the thing.
I like to think August
for June, but August, September.
Yeah. I think the scary thing for me is if they just start making it. Oh, you can get your freedom back. You can go to events, but you got to have a
vaccination. Yeah.
It's scary.
But I just see that being a reality, and I think with that and travel, I think you're going to have to do it.
I hope it's not.
I hope it's vaccine passport. I hope that's
no. I don't think
inevitably it will be. I'm sorry. I just think it will be.
I think it's looking likely. Like, to be honest, but like
blackmail. You go to the country, you can go to that country, but you have to have a vaccine.
It is blackmail.
What if you don't want the vaccine? Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
And it's crazy as well because you literally see it anywhere you go. Like say me coming out and saying, "Oh, I don't want to take the vaccine." People kick off at that. Like, "Oh, you're so selfish." The way my honest opinion towards it is, I've had it supposedly twice, and.
You've been tested.
I've tested positive for it twice, but the first time I literally just I had a fever for a day, and that was it. And the second time I literally didn't have any symptoms, but I tested positive. And I've literally had growing up, I've had numerous health problems. I've had bronchitis a couple of times. I've had pneumonia a couple of times. Bronchitis, I think it's like a proper infection of your chest.
Your lungs.
Yeah. Because I proper dealt with asthma really badly when I was younger. I was on the nebulizer on and off.
Really?
I had swine flu as well. So literally going
back in more.
Yeah. So going through all this, having coronavirus, it's just I've had a lot worse happen to me, in terms of illnesses. So that's why. Obviously, it's affected a lot of people differently as well, so we can also factor that in. But I just think it's dangerous when you've got the official statistics showing the death rate is 0.03%, and you've had a vaccine that's been rushed in a year, and it's being rammed down people's throats without question. If I've had it twice, I'm happy with taking my own chance. I think that you should be protecting the vulnerable. Yeah. Anyone that's in the vulnerable category, by all means, get the vaccine. I'm never one to say, oh, we shouldn't have the vaccine shouldn't be happening at all. I'm not trying to say that at all. But I think it comes down to a personal moral choice. If you don't want to get it, you shouldn't be penalised with your own freedm for not getting it.
But inevitably, it will be
for sure. But if it gets to a point where that millions have had the vaccine, why are people being punished for not having it?
Yeah,
it's a slippery slope though. It's dangerous.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is. And
it's a sticky subject.
It is a sticky subject. I talk about it a lot because I work at a COVID centre. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like it's everyone always talks about.
I think I've talked about it a lot on the podcast. I just think it's so crazy how you look at things. I think because we're in a student area. I don't feel like we've gotten a full grasp of what the country's kind of been like. Because if you think of back home for you, I can imagine everyone's probably taking it. Your parents and stuff probably taking it pretty seriously. Whereas over here, no one really gives a fuck about it, and everyone's still socialised, and everyone's still seeing each other's mates.
So it's probably somewhere in the middle. So it's definitely not as bad as how my parents see it, but it's also probably not as good as how we see it.
Exactly. So yeah, for sure. It's definitely in the middle, but it's just crazy that there are people that literally just watch the news. Every morning, every evening, every day, and they're just so bought into everything that's given to them. And
if you watch the news from 21st of March, do you know, 2020 till now, every day, like you're seeing like corona like so much that you literally, do you know,
it's crazy.
it's too much.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's every
There's
day.
so much
It's
more
every
to
day.
fucking what's going on. There are so many more problems that can be talked about that don't get talked about.
Yeah.
But
Yes, which is the problem with the media, of course.
I'm gonna live for a piss.
yeah, knock yourself out, bro. Don't worry.
Busted for a piss.
What do you think then, Harry? We've got football. This is coming out on Sunday, so I'm not sure. This will probably be out after the game, but we've got United City on Sunday.
We got Brighton, Leicester.
Brighton, Leicester, are you at home?
No. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
What do you think? I can't lie. I think Brighton are going down.
Mate, I was banging into it for a little bit. So for me, like I've been going for years, like to the footy. Like well, obviously when you can see it in person, and I really enjoyed it when we were in like the Championship, and obviously getting promoted was great. Like you go through the whole process of getting promoted, going to these teams.
Sorry to interrupt you. I can't believe that the season you got promoted, mate. You literally had the title in your hands and you lost it to Newcastle.
Mate. So let me explain
God.
a couple of away games for you on that note. So we had, I think we beat Wigan at home. What up? So went mad. Then that was on the Saturday. Then on the Friday we had Norwich away, and we're like title. We need 3 points at the last 3 games to win the title. Go to Norwich and we have 2 of the exact same goals of the same guy, Alex Pritchard, shooting and it hitting the post and then the bar off the goalkeeper's back and then in twice. I was like, fucking hell. But we did mad. And then the last game, I can't remember what the game in between was that.
You had a home game because I remember I had a
game.
friend, Carl. I'm probably not watching this, but he's a Maltese friend of mine who was literally studying in Brighton, and I remember seeing him like having a Snapchat video of like the last home game, and like everyone's got all the like the banners out because you're all thinking that you're gonna get a win and you're gonna get the trophy, and it just never came.
And then the last day was Villa, and we went 1-0 up, and we were like, here we go, and then we fucking drew late on, and Newcastle won, so that's a bit of a nightmare, but yeah, I mean. The footy at the moment.
What do you support?
Man United.
It's United.
It's my local team coming from Muller, obviously.
Obviously.
Have you been much then?
Well, I've been to watch United.
Oh, you've talked
3 times, I think, 2 or 3 times. Obviously, like coming from Malta.
Typical foreigner, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
I never came from like a background of money. So like for me, being in Malta to go watch Man United, it's literally like almost $1,000 when you factor in flights, hotels, and
what got you onto United then?
Is it that club that everyone talks about abroad? Do you know what I mean?
In Malta. So
you go to Africa and then little kids like
it's
Man
huge.
United, like Beckham.
Maltese football, like it's not really that great to be honest. So because it's so close to Italy, you've either the way it works in Malta. There's 4 teams that people, the most common 4 teams that people support: United, Liverpool, AC Milan, or Juventus. Because Italy is like pretty close to us, so like the Italian league is fairly follow closely. So my Maltese side of family, they all support AC Milan. So like I've still got a bit of a soft side for AC Milan because of my Maltese side. But my mum's boyfriend at the time, Lee, he was a massive Man United fan, and he bought me a Man United t-shirt. And that's like the earliest memories I've ever got.
And you're done, innit?
I'm done. And obviously born in '99, the year of the treble. It's like.
That is appalling stuff. As a lower league man, you should be supporting someone.
Really and truly, my mum's from Southampton, so I should be a Southampton fan.
Southampton,
but I'm a United fan through and through. You can't even say I'm a Glory supporter, mate. We've had a shy few years since Fergie left.
Honestly, you're terrible.
But I was saying this to you at Hyde Park the other day. Like Brighton have been playing good football, but they're just. It's not happening, and when you see that, especially with their, I think there's maybe like 10 games to go now, and you're only like 3 points. You're only 3 points above. I think 3 or 4 points.
We do like recently. The last 2 games, we lost to Palace in the derby, which was ridiculous. I remember like we were.
I was speaking to Cam actually. How come it's the derby? Because Palace is London.
Yeah, so
everyone
does ask this. So we've been rivals since about the 80s because. Basically, we were in the 3rd division, which is League One now, together, and the 2 managers it was Terry Venables for Palace and Mullery for Brighton, and these 2 used to play together for Tottenham and hated each other, Tottenham and England. So there was a bit of tension there, and we used to play each other all the time. We and Palace didn't have anyone in the league who were near to them. and what happened? There was some dodgy games because I think there was a referee called Ron Chalice who refed a few of our games and was particularly biased towards Palace from what I hear. And there was a bad game of Boxing Day, and there's still like a song about it now, but from that, the whole like Eagles, Seagulls, and it just turned into something a bit nasty. Yeah. And it is proper, like, it does. I'm going when we were younger, it was bad. I remember the first few games, especially in the Championship, when you're not on like Sky, it's like a Tuesday night, it's rough. And it's one of my first like away games, and I'm like in year 7, and it's like, Jesus, that's how it is. Like, but I've always enjoyed playing Palace. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is. Like, I enjoyed the footy when I was younger. But yeah, Palace away is a great day. We always lost until when I was in second year. I think my first game I went Palace away was year 7, and then the first win we had was second year of uni. Wow. And that was a serious day, but it took us that long. We were playing each other most years, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Football rivalries are just unchallenged. Like the fan atmosphere is just crazy. Like, it's so weird because being a huge Man United fan, like I'm meant to hate Leeds, because I've lived here for like 3 years. I've fallen in love with Leeds. I love watching I've seen them play in the Championship.
Leeds are good though. They play good football.
They're a good team, but like the rivalry, the traditional rivalry of United and Leeds just fucking hate each other.
Why are United and Leeds rivalry?
Because back in the day, Leeds and United were just top. They were at the top of the table, and obviously both northern clubs. Obviously, there was Liverpool as well that were up there, but they were like, well, obviously Newcastle for a short period of time were up there as well. Yeah. But it was Leeds, Liverpool, United. They were the top teams for a while. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where it was kind of built upon.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. And then Leeds turned a bit shite for a while.
Seems a bit bad now. Do you know what I mean? Man United, Leeds been.
What do you think then? United City this Sunday. City are running away with the league again.
They are.
Yeah, City are on job.
For your 50 quid, I think you need a United.
Oh mate, honestly.
What's this 50 quid he's got?
Yeah, so basically, I bet James that United will finish above City. That whole podcast, I was just waffling on it. I was talking big bollocks. It was the night. I think it was like a couple of nights before Dustin Poirier and McGregor. It was not a couple of nights before Dustin Poirier and McGregor, and I was like, oh mate.
I was trying to get the league. So where were you? Were you close to?
I think we were top of the league.
Oh, you
mate,
were?
Since I think we've played something. I think it's around between 7 to 10 games that we've played since we went top of the league, and since we've gone top, we've only won maybe 3 games.
Bad, isn't it?
Been terrible, mate. Just dropped it. We've not really moved up above the 50 points mark for a while.
You were scraping it before then, weren't you, though?
Mate.
But that's what you were saying was so good on that. Oh, we're going to do it. This is why we're going to do it.
United have had such a mixed season, like. We should be in the Champions League as well. We're in fucking Europa. Mate, now we've got AC Milan. That's a funny thing, because going back to like my whole Maltese family supporting AC Milan, like AC Milan and United was like a classic European fixture, and it goes back to me being always a Man United fan, but my Maltese family always being an AC Milan fan, and my mum was always like, who do you want to win? So like that's a close fixture to my heart. But I think United, I think United should win the Europa League this season, but that's just like that's my hoping.
You are a United fan, you should think that.
Yeah, I hope so, isn't it? It's a big club like United. You'd hope so.
I think for us to have a better season than last season, we need to win a trophy. The Europa League being that, or the FA Cup. But I'd rather win the Europa League than the FA Cup.
Yes.
As much as the FA Cup is a prestigious trophy, but
do you like Ole?
When we lost Mourinho, right, I didn't want Ole to come in. I wanted Pochettino. I think Pochettino is probably a better manager than Ole. But we've literally gone through manager after manager, and it's proven that like if you just get rid of a manager quickly, it's just not going to go well. Fergie, when he first came to United, he didn't really do too well. But you've got to back your manager. Ollie's been at the club for like has he been at the club for 2 years? I think he's just about 2 years. And I have noticed the cultural change and the cultural shift in the club has definitely changed, and that's the biggest change that he's made. I think he's made the biggest changes inside the club since Fergie left. But if I'm being completely honest, the problem isn't even the managers. The problem is the board, the Glazers. They're just American owners who literally just see the club for money. They took so much money out of United last season to buy Tom Brady for their NFL team.
But that's what it is, mate. That level of like money. I think you've talked about. I'm a massive advocate of like the top 4 going into like another league, because they're just like in Europe. Like they go top 4 go away, they play, and they don't even play in our league because the amount of money that they have is just complete. It would make the league if you took the top 4 out.
It wouldn't happen.
The top 4, it could happen.
It's definitely difficult.
If the top 4 go, I hope it. For me, it will make football a bit more normal again, because you take out the top money. Obviously, it would probably eventually end up with whoever's left taking the money, but I do think that there is. I mean, you look at the leagues. I don't know if you've watched if you've got it's Brian Clough's era, the Damn United, the film. I think Derby. I think it was Derby is managing them. Or maybe not in the Damn United, but there was basically someone came up from the bottom of the league halfway through the season and got to the top 4, won the league. That's how it was back in the day.
Well, you say that, but you look at teams like Leicester. Leicester came, they won the league out of nowhere, and everyone thought they were going to get shot back down. But they've kind of replaced Arsenal as a top 6 team now, because they've been the last 2-3 seasons. They've been fighting.
They'll be there for
exactly.
Seasons,
and as well, if you go back over the last 40 years of football, the amount of different names you see. Mate, Nottingham Forest won the Champions League twice.
Mate,
I think in the moment it's hard to see. Because there's there's never been so much more money in football than there is now, of course, and it's hard in the moment to see bigger, smaller clubs coming up and having an actual challenge. But I think if you look back over the last 40 years, it does fluctuate a little bit. Liverpool,
but it's certainly more difficult.
It's definitely in the favour of the bigger teams for sure. And I don't know. I personally wouldn't like to see the top 4 playing in just Europe. It makes it the Premier League.
As a top 4 fan, you probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
To be fair,
as a neutral, I want top 4 to stay. Do you know? I don't want the top 4 to go anywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to watch.
I'm being greedy. I'm sick of going to these fucking big clubs away from home, getting stuffed 2, 3, 4-0, and
then get nicked.
I remember being in the back of a police van going, "Where's the fucking Brian Smith?" It was only 60 mins in. Nah, mate. I think it was 1-0 the whole game.
Oh.
It was they scored in the 5th minute, and then it was that.
Killed the game off.
Shy ass, man. I'm not going back to Wembley.
So how long are you boys planning on staying in Leeds now? Because have you finished uni?
I finished uni.
Have you finished uni as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm done.
So it's a good question. I'm now deciding what to do. Whether I say, I want to stay this summer definitely, because obviously summer's going to be the bollocks. You know?
Yeah.
Everything's
I don't think this summer's got a feeling like.
Yeah, my tenancy
mayhem.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, my tenancy runs out in June. But I want to stay till September, October time. I'll have my job till September.
You don't think you'll just stay for another year, or just?
I could do another year, and then by then I definitely will have enough money to go and travelling. Do you know what I mean? But I honestly don't know yet, because that means getting another job. I just don't know what I'd want to do. But yeah, I'm undecided, to be honest. I could go back to London, but then I'll probably be living back with my parents as a step back. I love being independent, do you know what I mean? Living on my own, do you know what I mean? I've lived on my own now for 4 years, do you know what I mean? Going back home just seems crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Not something I want to do.
I don't think I could ever see myself living back at home. Sorry, Mum, but
not back in Bolton, mate.
Nah.
No, they're happy. They're like fine. We don't want you back here.
Nah, definitely not.
But I'm going back next Saturday, mate. So I'm finally done. I've finally booked a train. I'm going back. New Year's party is over.
So what's happening with Magnetic then? Is it a case where obviously you're still going to be continuing, but is the story in Leeds coming to an end, or
I don't know. I think with the actual events is a bit more difficult, because since March we've been focusing a lot online with the vinyls, the SoundCloud, Bandcamp,
getting the sound bang,
working like a social
trying
big time.
to stay relevant, do you know
for sure.
And just being active.
And you want to build your base as well. You want to work on your sound. You want to be able. This is what I was saying to a lot of my friends. This is the time where you want to build your base, so that when everything opens up, it's not like you've not been doing anything, so you've got to start from scratch when everything's opened up. Everything opens up and you've already got what you're working on.
You've got more because you've been accumulating different people.
Yeah.
But the events, I suppose, I think we're a bit open to, really, depending on where, I think him being the major, because I want to go abroad really to work, so depending on where he ends up will probably be the base of the parties, but we'll always have a link in Leeds. I suppose you just don't have a house, which is the important thing.
You're always welcome to come stay with me.
We'll be having all uninvited.
Well, mate, you still never come to a party. Did you come for my birthday with
I haven't. No, I've heard about this.
Mate, honestly, downstairs is is a bit of a mad one when we've got the decks down.
I have seen your dad. I remember coming to collect decks down there. It's because you got the fucking.
We've got a breakfast bar. It fits perfectly.
Layer up. Yeah.
Well, I'll show you when we go downstairs. Yeah, it's a good little setup.
No, I've heard about this party. Did you used to do like a week, like? I mean, like
mate, over summer, mate, it was like almost every other night, mate. I'm not even joking. Like obviously this is like the main street is behind us, so. We've got all the LED lights round the outside of the basement scene, and the basement it's not really that tall, so it's like it makes it like a proper nightclub experience because the ceiling's low, it's a small box, so like everyone's always in there, and we had a pool table in there, and obviously my room is literally on the main street as well. I have my window open most times because it just gets really warm in here. And I'm not even joking. The amount of times I've been in my room with my window open, I'll just be sat playing Xbox or sat watching a film, and I'll see strangers like obviously like in the corner of my eyes, see strangers walking past. Pointing down at our living room, thinking, "Oh, mate, this is where that party was." Like, it's actually crazy, bro.
When was this?
Mate, over summer, I'm not even joking. Like, we got a name for ourselves in Henley for the parties that we were throwing. Because my lot, obviously, like James Howard and Dimension, and obviously Josh Hurst and Klausman and all Burton. Well, they basically had a massive house on Burton Crescent in Henley. Which was literally for 2 years. They lived there for 2 years. That was literally known as like the
I've heard
place.
that house
Burton,
was
crazy, mate. So they had all their following there. They had everyone that knew them for being the big DJs, having their big afters. So then when we moved in here in summer, everything just kind of got transferred over here, and because that was like a massive big house. Big rooms, like it was all over the place. So everyone was that used to that environment for 2 years, and then everyone came here, and it's a small little box in a basement where the decks are in the middle of the room. It's completely different feeling. So like everyone was.
It's a bit like what it is now at my house now. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like Manor Terrace. We got Manor Terrace. That used to be the gaff. Do you know what I mean? And you did 2 years there with the parties.
And Soul's house as well.
And Soul's house. Yeah. So and now it's different. It's different now. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a student anymore. It's
you want to be a bit more relaxed.
Yeah. It's like
it's hectic. Like when you like obviously you have your fun in the moment. Like but like I said, the older you get and the more you come out of it a little bit, you're like whoa. Look back and think, fuck me. Especially
the corona. Like uni was just like one long weekend, and like when the COVID thing happened, you like it's the first time you just take a step back and go like. It's like you just take a deep breath and you're like, oh fucking hell, that all happened. Do you know what I mean? Like it was just one long madness.
Mate, you don't even think like we're sat here talking. I feel like I've been here for over 3 years. It felt like I moved here like yesterday.
So you're on your first year.
So basically, I've still got a long time. So basically, when I was in Malta, I dropped out of college, and then I was working for a year. I was working at a supermarket. And like I was earning minimum wage, but like when you're 16 and you're earning a full-time wage, you think, oh mate, I'm sick, I'm on ball, and I've got to and then like it kind of hit me, I'm like, Paul, you're stacking shelves in a supermarket, bro, like what are you doing? So then I was like, right, like, and before I even got to college in Malta, like I knew I wanted to leave Malta, like for some reason, obviously I'd come back to come. Was
it your decision to
I could be by myself, yeah, so like I'd always come to and from England because obviously I've got family there, and I always felt like I never really learnt Maltese, spoke Maltese, so I was always like kind of the foreign kid, even though I was always born and bred there. So I always felt English because of that. I was born and raised by my mum, who's English, so I had like an English upbringing. Yeah. So I always felt English. Every time I came to England, I always loved it more than I was back in Malta. And I love Malta. I think me leaving has made me appreciate the island a lot more.
Of course.
But like I always knew from a young age I didn't want to be there. So then. After I dropped out of college and then I was working, I was like, you know what? Like my mate Jack, he was from York, and then I went to visit him, walked down Briggate. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking move here. I went to Leeds City College, and this is the mad thing because Leeds City College is literally next to Marsden, which is in town. And when I was looking at like places to live, really and truly, I should have been looking at Hyde Park because it was closer. But like, just out of chance, I went to pick up properties, which is in Henley. And I also
pick up.
Mate, they're all right to be fair compared to all the others.
I've heard some shit about the others.
Yeah,
Oasis
especially. Fuck me. But yeah, everything just fell into place like magically. It sounds so cringy today, but mate, my experience in Leeds has been life changing, like genuinely life changing. Like
so what's the crowd back like in Malta? Are we talking English or are we talking?
It is English. Like
you get away with an English accent.
Everyone speaks English, but it's like everyone speaks Maltese as well, a bit of Italian. So like the culture is just completely different. Everyone's just like focused on life in a small little island. and everyone.
So what is it like? Is it like, what's the type of crowd there? Is it families or older people?
Loads of like it's a very big family atmosphere.
People just
big
come,
families,
they retire there, or like they do work there.
Yeah, literally everything's just there. Like not like for me to move out, mate. When I was telling people I was moving here, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, you're going to be back in a couple of months," because it's not something that people do. Like people will go out to England or they'll go out for their studies and they'll go abroad, but like no one ever thinks of it being the permanent. Everyone's always like, "Oh no, I've got to get back home," which I can understand as well. Like if you're a big family and you've got everything, mate, I've left all my family. It's a daunting thing.
So your family are they in Malta now?
Yeah. Apart from like my nan, she's in Southampton. I can see how daunting it is. It's not easy.
So you come to Leeds, like you know nothing about Leeds. Do you know what I mean? Like we know like the north, south. Do you know what I mean? The Midlands. We know what's kind of the crack in each. Do you know what I mean? You literally know nothing about when you came to Leeds.
Literally
so
zero.
This is like that was just pot luck for you.
But again, like you said, like some things that just fall into place. Everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer in that. And I never, anything I do, any venture I take, I never look back. I never doubt it, because if you put that doubt in your head, then you're never going to get anywhere. For me, even starting this podcast, luckily I didn't get any negativity about me starting it. Everyone's always been nice and supportive, but like, if there were people and I was letting that cloud into my judgment, like you can't let. I can imagine it's the same for you with Magnetic and your music. You don't want to let anything cloud your own judgment, because then that's when things start getting mixed and you don't believe in yourself, and that's when it all starts falling. So
definitely. I was one thing I've definitely learned over the years. If you start to care what people think too much, then you can send you down a bad route.
sure.
Do you know what I mean?
And I was a big I was kind of bullied when I was at school. I was always like left to myself. I was always very bit lonely. Only ever had a couple of friends. Was never part of the cool kids. And like when you're younger, especially, like it's so much bigger. Like you really care about what
because that is your life. Like,
that is your life.
People in your class.
Exactly. That is literally all you've got.
For sure. Other friends.
So like that's something I've had to learn growing up, is like literally, like you said, you literally should not listen and should not listen. You shouldn't care what people think about you. It shouldn't affect what you do. Do what you want to do and you'll get there.
Yeah, and if you're doing it for the right reasons, then, you know what I mean, the good things will come. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Owen and Harry, thank you for coming on.
Cheers to that.
It's been an amazing
amazing
time.
Thanks for having us, brother.
For sure.
Nice.
It probably won't be the last time as well, but I hope you guys had a good time. Magnetic. Before we actually close up, you've got a charity run.
Yes, we do.
Wow.
Well, considering the ankle.
It might be delayed.
I'll do this charity run. Where is it?
Yeah,
you can come for a leg.
You can come for a leg.
So it's the 4-4-4-8 challenge. So it's 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours.
Oh my God, David Goggins! I was literally thinking about doing something like that as well. Yeah. What are you doing it in Leeds or down south?
So we're doing Leeds.
So we got inspiration from him. We kind of just wanted to do something.
That's so mad. I didn't even
a bit more out there. Do you know what I mean? Life was a little bit repetitive in lockdowns. Like, do you know what? Fuck it, want to do something a bit more. And also, like, if people are struggling, do you know what I mean? Like, we was in a privileged position. Like, I want to. A lot of these charities have struggled. Small
give back.
Ones. Yeah, so a lot of charities have struggled during lockdown. So he was like, let's do this. Why not? And it's something to like. It goes a goal. Do you know what I mean? Something. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a 4-4-8. So but we're getting people to try and run each leg with us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you definitely.
We'll pencil you in, and you can
definitely,
do a leg
I'll
with us.
You need that though. You need something in the future to just keep you going.
Yeah. Because we were doing a lot of running. I was doing a lot of running, and it was like. And before it was like, what's the end goal? Do you know what I mean? I'm running to keep fit, obviously, and I like it because it keeps me well. But other than that, I was like, do you know what I mean? Now I'm running. I'm like, well, now I'm going to be running I'm going to be doing 2 marathons in.
It's a lot.
2 marathons in 2 days without sleep. So switching the sleep, the no sleep in the parties for the no sleep.
It's a good idea.
And the no sleep with the running.
Big respect for you, is like making the initiative to like do something as well, because it's a good thing.
We'll hopefully get it out as soon as we can, but we might be a bit delayed for someone thinks he's fucking
messy.
It's a fucking joke.
Someone thinks he's drug running Champions League final, given that you're, do you know what I mean? So we'll see, but that's definitely that's going to be. Hopefully, our target is what? What do we say?
Target was about £1,000.
About £1,000
for Simon in the Streets.
Simon in the Streets is a charity.
What's the charity? It's a men's health.
Homeless charity.
So it's about relocating people.
And also something I don't know. I was talking about it. About we wanted to get the food from like people's shops. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause,
We'll definitely speak about this after because me and my mate Dan, he's got his own cooking channel, Scramble with Dan.
Is that Dan Berrien?
Yeah, Dan Berrien, exactly. We were thinking about doing something.
I've seen that.
For when things kind of open up, where we literally just cook loads of food and then just give it all away. So we could talk about something like
because we were saying money for like a lot of our friends as well. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people don't have that much money at the moment, so like maybe just a bit of extra food shop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Couple tin
create
things.
like a food basket.
Food basket
people
kind
to
of thing.
give to people who need it.
Yeah.
Love
so
the
then
idea,
that, along with hopefully you can raise a little bit of money then. So yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I'm daunting, but it's gonna be hard.
Good.
It's gonna be hard, but
yeah, of course, but it'll be
all these things.
It.
It's like why not? Do you know what I mean? Why not?
The Great Magnetic.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks
It's been a pleasure.
Give it a little applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bang on.
Beautiful. I just need to kiss.